January 13th, 1985, a fisherman in Santiago Bay, Mexico, found Carol Wayne's body floating in shallow water. The matinee lady of The Tonight Show, who once made America laugh, lay there, her anxious eyes seeming to hold an unspoken secret. At just 42, Carol lived under stage lights, her red lipstick framing a radiant smile. But after each performance, she removed her crystal earrings, facing a pain no one saw. Hollywood adored her, but no one heard her heart breaking. Edward Durston, her companion, left Mexico right after she vanished, without alerting police. He'd been linked to another mysterious death. Did Carol know something she shouldn't have, or did someone want her silenced forever? Her story is one of Hollywood's glamour and shadows. Stay with me to uncover the truth about Carol Wayne and the secrets she took to those shallow waters. Chapter 1. Early career success, but at what cost? When Carol couldn't yet read, her mother told her, "You'll be a star or you'll be nothing." Chicago, 1942. Carol's first spotlight wasn't Hollywood's glow, but the icy glare of a skating rink. Born September 6th. The 6-year-old was thrust into the harsh world of figure skating alongside her sister Nina. 8 hours a day. They glided on cold ice, their small feet trembling, hands clutching skates to hide the pain. In the freezing air, with audiences blurred beyond the lights. Carol learned to smile despite longing to play like other kids. "You'll be famous," her mother promised. But the cost was a stolen childhood. By 15, Carol and Nina dropped out of high school to join the Ice Capades, a dazzling troupe touring 42 cities. Crowds cheered, but each night, Carol looked in the mirror, seeing invisible scars from a friendless, loveless youth. Then disaster struck. During a performance, a flash of light, a coin, or something more malicious caused Carol to fall. She remembered the skate's blade screeching, blood staining the ice, and the coach's indifferent stare. "Can you keep performing?" they asked, no one caring if she hurt. Her knee was torn, leaving a 5-inch scar, ending her skating dreams. Each time she saw that scar in the mirror, it was a reminder her first fall, but not her last. A troupe member whispered, "I saw something flash before she fell," but the words were quickly forgotten or silenced. Rumors of a jealous rival, a shadowy plot, spread and faded. Carol, heartbroken and empty, realized she'd sacrificed everything. No diploma, no childhood for pain. "I gave up everything," she confided to a friend, her voice hollow. For what but Carol was a fighter? If the ice betrayed her, she'd find a new stage. Those years left deep wounds. The pressure to be perfect, to be loved, carved a void in her soul. She craved recognition, but Hollywood, with its glamour and traps, waited. The scar on her knee stayed with her, like a clue to the tragedies ahead, a journey leading to Mexico's shallow waters, where the truth remains hidden. On her final night with the Ice Capades, Carol left her skates in the dressing room, her eyes fierce, yet fearful. She never went back for them. When the rink's lights went out, Carol stepped into the treacherous world of showbiz. Would she find happiness, or just new wounds? Chapter 2. Glamour and Shame in Las Vegas. Laughter paid in cash. At 17, the ice rink was a broken memory. Carol and Nina stepped into Las Vegas's dazzling glow, becoming showgirls at the Tropicana Resort and Casino, performing in Foley's Bergère. Under flashing lights, Carol glided across the stage in a sparkling costume. Each dance step a reminder she had to be beautiful, alluring, make the crowd roar. But her eyes anxious, hidden behind makeup, told another story. Her mother, eyeing the revealing outfit, sneered. "Can't you get more feathers?" When Carol called home, her mother only asked, "Are you on TV yet?" No one asked, "Are you okay?" Those words, like a knife, deepened her loneliness and sense of judgment, even from family. Las Vegas, though cruel, opened doors. On a drive to Los Angeles, Carol was invited to a Hollywood party. Chandeliers gleamed, red wine swirled in glasses, and a stranger approached. "We're looking for a girl like you," he said, his smile cold. No one recalled his name. But some whispered he frequented Beverly Hills parties, always leaving with a different blonde. Carol was wary, but the next morning's audition changed everything. She shone, landing her first role in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. She joked, glancing at her figure. And I've gotten every role since. But behind the smile, she knew Hollywood loved her looks, not her talent. They called her a bimbo in every episode. She smiled, dropped something, and bent to pick it up. The role repeated as if Hollywood had one script for blonde women. She was typecast, not as an artist but as a decoration. Directors' scrutinizing stares, backstage whispers. She's just pretty gnawed at her self-worth. Rumors said the party stranger promised roles for favors, but the truth was buried under the lights. Carol wanted to be loved for herself, but the world saw only a blonde. That pressure, and her family's isolation, sewed deep wounds. Her beauty brought her to Hollywood, but it was also a trap. In her last Las Vegas photo, those eyes still anxious behind the smile never changed. Would that glamour lead her to the top, or was it the first step toward that fateful Mexican beach, where a dark secret waited? Chapter 3: The Highs and Humiliations of The Tonight Show. She made America laugh, but after each round of applause, Carol swallowed a sob. In 1971, Carol Wayne stepped onto The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, becoming the matinee lady in over 100 Art Fern's tea time movie sketches. With a high-pitched voice and captivating smile, she was a gem under studio lights. Each night, she appeared. Crystal earrings, gifts from Carson sparkling like a promise of stardom. But each night, back in the dressing room, she removed them, shedding a role she never chose. Carson's jokes, like with that chest, "This girl will never sink," drew roars, but they pierced her heart like needles. She wanted recognition for talent, not beauty. Beyond The Tonight Show, Carol shone in Heartbreakers 1984. In one scene, she cried real tears, not acting. Those tears came from deep pain, from years of being dismissed. Critic Roger Ebert wrote that Carol held the film together, calling her moving, authentic, but only he saw it. Hollywood, with its prying eyes, saw only a blonde bimbo. "I'm like a wax figure that smiles," she confided to a friend, her voice bitter. "No one asks if I'm cold." In every sketch, she was told to act naive, drop something, bend over a scripted routine, as if she were a prop, not a person. The chemistry between Carol and Carson sparked whispers. She admitted, "He loves me. I love him. He still sees me in his dreams every day." But she added, "Sadly, the timing was never right." They were never single at the same time. Rumors said Carson wanted to free her from the matinee lady role, to be seen as a real actress, but the production team refused. A crew member whispered, if Carson had fought for her, things might have been different, but he never spoke up. Carol, under the lights, felt millions of eyes, but no one truly saw her. What am I worth beyond my looks, she wondered, her heart heavy. Each night, removing those crystal earrings, Carol faced the truth: she was a star, but in a role she didn't want. Shame crept in, eating at her self-worth, setting the stage for tragedies ahead. The pressure to be perfect, to be alluring, crushed her dream of being a true artist. Did those wounds push her toward that Mexican beach where a deadly secret waited? Some say Carson knew more than he let on, but the truth stayed buried under stage lights. Carol was a bright star. But why did she always feel trapped? Was the glamour driving her to the edge? Chapter 4: The Pain of Love and Addiction Under Hollywood's Lights. Carol Wayne was the center of lavish parties, wine glass in hand, her smile radiant as a star. But her heart, hidden behind makeup, had long been cracked with Burt Sugarman, a famed producer. She thought she'd found a haven. They married in 1975, and Carol dreamed of a home where she wasn't just the matinee lady. But the day she learned a new sitcom role was cut, Sugarman left without a word. She stood in an empty mansion, Carson's crystal earrings rolling on the floor, like shards of a broken dream. "I just want to be loved," she whispered to a friend, her voice trembling, her hand touching an old necklace, a gift from her first husband, Loreto Cara. "It reminds me I was once happy," she said, her eyes distant. As a single mother to her son Alex, Carol struggled to raise him while maintaining her star image. Society's pressure weighed heavy. A woman had to be perfect, beautiful, successful, happy. But Carol wasn't happy. She sought escape in alcohol, then clove cigarettes introduced by Alex. One night at Musso and Frank, a waiter approached, whispering, "Other guests are complaining about your cigarette smell." Carol stood, silent, her heels clicking on tile like blows to her shattered dignity. From there, she sank into cocaine, thinking it would ease the pain. "I don't know who I am anymore," she confided, her voice lost, like someone adrift in Hollywood's glow. By 1984, Carol was bankrupt, her income zero. The once glamorous star was drowning in debt. Cruel whispers spread she turned to escort work to survive. A secret friends tried to hide. Actor Richard Pryor, who saw the pain in her eyes, offered help with rehab and new roles. But Carol was too weary, her heart like a dark room with no exit. In that darkness, she met Edward Durston at a small party. He wasn't striking, but his cold eyes lingered in memory, for reasons unclear. Some said he always appeared at the right moment, like a shadow waiting for fragile souls. Carol, in despair, trusted him, the man who would lead her to her final tragedy. The public, once adoring, turned away. "She's washed up," they whispered, their eyes as cold as those rink-side stairs. Carol wore that old necklace, clinging to a shred of past joy, but it couldn't save her. The night before her Mexico trip, she packed her suitcase, carefully folding her comb, lipstick, and an old photo with Alex. Those were the last items found in her bag, her pain judgment. Abandonment pushed her toward a fateful journey. Was Durston, with those chilling eyes, the betrayer who led her to that Mexican beach, where the truth remains buried when everything collapsed? Who did Carol turn to? Was the last man beside her the true betrayer? Chapter 5, Final Despair. The Days in Mexico. Edward Durston boarded a plane to Los Angeles, leaving Carol Wayne's luggage with a cold note. She'll come for it. Days earlier, they danced under Mexico's sunset, the Las Hadas resort's lights glinting off Carol's blonde hair. In January 1985, she arrived in Manzanillo hoping to reclaim herself, to escape addiction's grip, but her anxious eyes, hidden behind a smile, told another story. Hotel staff whispered that she and Durston drank and danced, but Carol's gaze was heavy, as if she sensed darkness lurking. One worker said, "That night, I heard them arguing, loudly. Then only one left the room." On January 10th, everything fell apart. They missed their flight to Los Angeles, forced to stay at the budget Playa de Santiago hotel. Carol, furious, called it a dump. She stood outside, her heels stomping the path, hand clutching that old necklace, her first husband's gift. Then she vanished, melting into the night. Durston didn't search for her. He checked into another hotel, didn't call police, and flew to Los Angeles, leaving her luggage with that chilling note. His actions unnerved people. He'd been present when Diane Linkletter jumped to her death in 1969. Another questionable case. Did Carol uncover something about Durston? Something that made her run? A maid later said that while cleaning that day, she saw Carol's lipstick and white scarf neatly on the table, as if she meant to return, but she never did. In despair, Carol had stepped into a fateful journey. Was Durston, with those cold eyes that lingered in memory, the one who pushed her toward that Mexican beach? Or was another dark secret waiting in the shadows? Carol vanished that night. But what really happened on that beach is the truth buried with her. Chapter 6, An Unsolved Mystery, Her Death and Theories. On January 13th, 1985, a fisherman in Santiago Bay, Mexico, pulled Carol Wayne's body from shallow water. When turned over, her eyes were open, anxious, as if unable to believe what had happened. She was fully clothed, no alcohol, no drugs, no wounds, but Carol couldn't swim. We found no signs of foul play, prosecutor Jorge Hernandez said, but when asked why a non-swimmer drowned in knee-deep water, he fell silent. Her ex-husband Barry Feinstein believed it was an accident, but many disagreed. 3 theories emerged. First, accident. Carol might have fallen into the water while walking, but there were no scratches or signs of a slip. Second, suicide, bankruptcy, addiction, and loneliness could have driven her to despair. But friends said she still had hope, wanted to live for Alex. Third, murder. Edward Durston, who argued with her before she vanished, was the focus of suspicion. He was present at Diane Linkletter's 1969 death, a case steeped in controversy. His actions not calling police, fleeing Mexico, abandoning her luggage fueled doubts. Jeffrey Weiss's book, Who Killed the Matinee Lady, claimed it was murder, though lacking hard proof. Whispers suggested Durston was protected by someone powerful, shielding him from blame. Carol once said on The Tonight Show, "I don't want to drown," yet the sea claimed her in water only knee-deep. The old necklace, her first husband's gift, wasn't found on her body, as if her last happy memory was swept away. She craved love and recognition, but faced scrutinizing eyes and cruel whispers. Was her tragedy the price of Hollywood's glamour? Or is a deadly secret still hidden? Carol is gone, but is the truth buried forever? Did Hollywood hide a lethal secret? Epilogue, a legacy and lessons from the shadows. Carol Wayne streaked through life like a shooting star, brilliant, dazzling, but gone at 42. From a Chicago skating girl to The Tonight Show's matinee lady, she lived the glamour millions dreamed of, but behind her smile, her heart broke, crushed by societal pressure and judging eyes, in her final suitcase. They found the red lipstick she wore on stage. That color carried her laughter, but now it's a silent memory. Carol lived as a screen character, but the woman backstage yearning to be loved. Seen, did anyone truly see her? Carol's legacy is an unfinished story. Her matinee lady role remains a comedic icon, but she was quickly forgotten. Johnny Carson paused the Art Fern character for nearly a year to honor her, but Hollywood didn't follow. Heartbreakers, where she proved her talent, faded into obscurity, like her life. She left behind her son Alex, surely carrying the pain of losing his mother. Above all, Carol left a bitter lesson: fame can kill if no one sees the real you. In the 1960s to 1980s, women like Carol were trapped in the ditzy bombshell mold. Lewd jokes, whispers she's just a blonde ate at her self-worth. As her career waned, she turned to alcohol and cocaine, but no one helped her stand. Her death in Mexico, in shallow water, remains a mystery. Edward Durston, with his chilling eyes and shadowy past, raises questions. Was he hiding something? The coincidence with Diane Linkletter's 1969 death only deepened suspicion. Or is there a darker secret Hollywood buried? Carson's joke, "One day she'll be 47," became a painful prophecy, as Carol lived only to 42. Her story reminds us fame is a double-edged sword. If you've known someone like Carol smiling outside, screaming inside, share this story. To keep her memory alive, tell her journey, and let's seek the truth. What do you think of her death? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and spread her story so Carol's light never fades.